Ready for a no meat, no egg, no dairy, fast, low cost, little energy to make, great tasting meal? Then let's make one. Hello, we're gonna have a really great dish. I've made this dish before, but different. So kind of the same thing, but I have some change up here. So we're gonna kind of work through this together. So there might be a mistake or two along the way, just bear with me. I'm just trying out something new here and I figured might as well do it in front of the camera and have some fun. You guys can see the process. Again, I had made something very similar to this, but I'm trying this one with a slight different twist to it. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is so the broccoli is a side dish. So that's going on the side. That doesn't go into the main, what I call my sort of like, I don't know, stack of food, whatever it is. So I've got some cilantro, onion. I've got some, which I'll use both ways. I'm going to cook it in and then I'm going to do a little sprinkle of the onion afterward on top, just so there's a little bit of raw onion because I like that on top. I've got some sliced, very thin sliced mandolin zucchini. I've got some thin sliced tofu, smoked. This is my smoked tofu. I smoke it myself, as you've seen. I'll put that picture up there. Is it there? Yeah, up there again, so you can see how I smoke it outside right out here. I've got some sweet corn and I've got some black beans. These are both organic. So this all goes in the stack. I've got some roasted garlic, which is actually going to go in between as well as I pile this stuff up. And I'm going to put some flavors in between, but not a lot. The main flavor at the end is going to be sweet chili and barbecue sauce. Now I am going to coat the tofu with sweet chili before it goes in. So right now I'm going to do two things. I'm going to get my roasted garlic minced up here really small. I don't want it too small because I want to be able to taste it and chew it because I love that. That is when it pops out. It's not necessary to be in every bite, but enough to be at least maybe one little piece in every 3 bites or whatever, and then one without. But there's quite a bit here, so we'll see how that pans out again. Okay, so that's done. We're going to take a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to do this in the bottom of the pan because I don't want the potatoes to stick because they're going to be the first layer in here. So I'm just going to put that right here, just like that, just so they don't stick. And they actually add a little bit of flavor to them. Also, what I'm going to do at the very bottom is I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder, granulated garlic, excuse me, right in the olive oil, just like that. I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper in the olive oil. That's it. Nothing more than that. And I'm going to salt a little bit as I go along, but very little. I use very little salt. So I'm going to take this potato that this is already softened. I did it in the microwave. You can see it's already pre-cooked. It took, I do usually this size right here, which you can see about in relation to my hands. So about this size potato, it's 3 minutes, and then I roll it over on the other side and do 3 more minutes in the microwave. My microwave is about 1100 watts, so 3 minutes is plenty. So I'm going to cut these as thin as I can without having them crumble too badly. And get them cut through. And then I'm going to layer these at the bottom. Skin is what we want, so it's not going to be a problem going on. So I'm going to do 3. It's going to be like a triangle kind of thing, so I have enough room to pile everything on. Doesn't really matter how thick they are. Okay, so that's how it looks. We're going to use that as a base. And you can do this any way you want, obviously, but I'm just doing it this way for today. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, that first layer's on there. Another plate here. I'm going to coat my tofu with the sweet chili. So I got a little sweet chili sauce right here. And I'm just going to put this on top of this. Like that. And I'm just going to run these all together and get this nicely. So they have the sweet chili sauce on the tofu itself, because this will bake in. It'll give it really great flavor with the smoked tofu and the sweet chili. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, so that's great. That's not going to hurt. So I'm going to layer in here some zucchini. There'll be probably 2 layers of each item in here, somewhere in there. Let's see if we can do this so we have a nice... I want to try and keep this surface flat if we can, so things don't roll off easily. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And now we're going to take some corn and black beans. They're going to go in here, just like that. Try and keep it as level as you can. Some are going to fall off. Not going to be a big deal if they do. It's really not going to matter. Okay, now we're going to come and we're going to layer on a bunch of tofu. So we're going to do it kind of like in a pattern, like that. There, there. This is one of my little more complicated, but still in the framework of low energy use, low cleanup, you know, just it's a little more exotic, let's call it that. So that's the kind of feel we have here. So now I'm going to take a little bit of roasted garlic and I'm going to put that in here as well. Just like that, because we're doing a bit of herby stuff right at this point. So the roasted garlic goes in here, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to wipe my hands off because it's really sticky, messy. Okay, now we're going to take some green onions and we're going to do a little tiny slivers in here. They'll probably roll off a little bit, just pick them back up and put them in here. Just like that. Yep, there's a couple that wanted to get away. Okay. And then we're going to take a little cilantro, and we're going to do the same thing with that. So I just bunch it up and I just like that. Beautiful. That's all starting to look really good. Okay. Now we're going to layer up another layer of potato. I'm going to use the same 3 method kind of situation here. Trying to keep this all on here, which is always it's always a trick because it always wants to pile in the middle. So we'll kind of keep it glued together with the 3 laying over top of each other. And you can sort of crawl up narrower as you get going, which works really well. Okay, and then we're going to put on some more zucchini on top of that. Just like that. Of course, it's not going to want to stay there. And what I do is I kind of just give it a little bit of pressure to get everything mashed down real good. Stuck together just like that. Okay. Now we're going to put a little more granulated garlic right in this area. And just a hair more black pepper. Just like that. Okay, now, of course, we're going to have one more layer of the tofu on here. We're going to go at a different angle. So when you eat this, you'll have plenty of room to, ease of cutting through it without it falling apart too much. Okay, so there goes the tofu. That's our protein here. I'm saving this as the topping. So this is going to go right on top of the final sauce that goes on top of this. So I'm going to just take and put 2 more slices of potato to top off the thing. So 1, 2. I'm just trying to get the larger sizes of potato out of here. bigger. Okay. This one kind of crumbled up, but that's quite all right. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever at this point, because this is just all going to bake. Okay, and then I'm going to put some roasted garlic on top of this. Just double checking, make sure we're still recording. Okay, now, on top of this, now there's no guarantee this is coming off of that foil very easily, but we'll find out because it's a bit more sticky than the one I made before. Okay, so we're going to do some of this great sweet chili, but this time we're going to add some barbecue sauce. Just like that. We're going to stir this together. And this is always such a great, it's a great organic Texas barbecue sauce with that sweet chili. Ah, great. Now I'm just going to drizzle this on top of this. Oh, it's just got a little kick to it, which is great. Like that. This cilantro, the rest of the onion, and the corn will go on top just as color, which will be really nice. Okay, I'm going to put this in the preheated oven. And this should take about 15 minutes. I've got my rack on the lowest place. And that should cook all together. I think I'm going to make up just a little bit more of this to put on top because that may bake in. Let's see, let's grab another one of those. The amount of sauce is to your taste. It's that simple. You can put whatever you want. A lot of sauce. It's quite sweet, but what you see in there is probably enough for two people to eat. So you're probably balancing this over a couple of servings, along with the broccoli, which is going to go on afterward as a side dish. So I'll just heat that up in the microwave when we're done. Put that on the side, and we'll take a look at the whole thing. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and here it is. It looks amazing. I just hope it tastes as good as it looks. So I've got my broccoli on here. I put a little granulated garlic and salt and pepper on, just a tiny bit on the broccoli, just to give it a little bit of a boost of a flavor. I have some extra sauce, just in case eating it. If it's dry inside or something, you can always have a little bit extra sauce. So I'm just going to top it off with the final garnish, which is the little bit of nice green onion everywhere. Just some very little slivers of it, not a lot. I don't want to overpower anything. That's good. Maybe a couple more over here. Perfect. And a little bit of cilantro on top. Not much. I'm just going to do a tiny bit. So you pick up those flavors a little bit here and there. Doesn't have to be on everything. There it is. I'm going to dig in and see how good it is, and I'll let you know. I'm FOODMAKER V, and don't forget, your best investment is in your health. See you next time. I just wanted to add something at the end of this dish. As you can see in the photo, it was spectacular. It was really good. I would change one thing, maybe add a little more sauce in between the layers. Having the side of sauce was really great because I used that to sort of spruce up. But I would put a little bit of sauce in between the layers if you want that. I mean, it was still good because it all had a lot of other flavors in there. And the tofu also had the chili, sweet chili sauce on it. So I'd either bump up the amount of sweet chili sauce on the tofu or put some of the whole barbecue sweet chili in between. But nevertheless, as you can see by the plate, I finished the whole thing.